In a world cluttered with information, where truth is power, Lawin Weekly News stands apart.
We delve deeper, uncover facts, and bring stories to light. From political showdowns and economic triumphs to the pulse of the street and the heart of the community.
We capture the moments that define us, stories that challenge, inspire, and transform.
Tune in live Sundays 8 a.m. Central Standard Time and Sundays 6 p.m. Central Standard Time.
These are Lawin headlines for this week. Lieutenant Governor pushes for Sioux criminal probe after audit. Austin honors heroes in 69th Veterans Day Parade. Man indicted for capital murder in Dallas motel worker beheading. King Charles sends condolences to typhoon, earthquake victims in Philippines. 4 women honored at 2025 million rupees Philippines of North Texas Charity Gala. Ilocano Club of Metro Houston marks 44th anniversary with Gala fundraiser. Sabrina Carpenter to bring Alice in Wonderland to life as star and producer.
Good day, I am Neska, and tonight we bring you the latest stories in the United States of America, especially in the state of Texas. So sit back, relax, and allow in Weekly News be your guide to the news that matters most. Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick has called for a criminal investigation into Texas Southern University or TSU after a state audit uncovered extensive financial irregularities. The audit conducted by the Texas State Auditor's Office since May 2025 found thousands of unauthorized invoices amounting to hundreds of millions of dollars. Along with the significant financial and operational weaknesses, officials said the findings suggest possible mismanagement or fraudulent activity within the university. Patrick said he is concerned about the potential misuse of state funds and emphasized that no additional taxpayer dollars should be allocated to TSU until the issues are addressed. He plans to request that the Texas Rangers conduct a deeper investigation. The audit has prompted calls for increased oversight, with state leaders stressing the need for transparency and accountability in publicly funded institutions. The Texas Department of Transportation, or TxDOT, is urging state and local officials to consider expanding public transportation or transportation options between Austin and San Antonio, including a potential passenger rail line along the I-35 corridor. A TxDOT study found that a commuter rail service could reduce traffic on I-35 by up to 25%, offering a viable alternative to one of the state's busiest highways. While the study outlines projected infrastructure and engineering costs, it does not identify specific funding sources for construction, stations, or operations. The proposal is part of the statewide multimodal transit plan, which aims to improve connectivity and accessibility across Texas. Officials say the project could provide a more efficient travel option for residents and commuters moving between the two rapidly growing cities. The study also aligns with broader mobility initiatives, including Project Connect and the Connecting Texas 2050 vision, both of which promote long-term multimodal transportation solutions for the state. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, arrested more than 1,500 people across Houston in a major enforcement operation targeting undocumented offenders, including gang members, sexual predators, and convicted felons. Officials said the large-scale sweep was ICE's biggest in the city this year, with arrests taking place in multiple neighborhoods and surrounding counties. Bail bondsman Mario Garza said many people he spoke with were surprised by the scope of the operation and the number of individuals taken into custody. Sergio Lira of Greater Houston LULAC said that while removing violent criminals is important, the scale of the arrests could have broader effects on immigrant families and neighborhoods. Wesley Wittig from the Fort Bend County Attorney's Office said deportations can complicate efforts to prosecute offenders locally, sometimes resulting in individuals being removed from the country before standing trial. A district attorney confirmed some of such cases occurred, though most involved misdemeanor charges. 7 individuals from the Houston area face federal charges in a large scale Medicare fraud case, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of Texas announced. Arrested this week were Hattie Bax, 49 of Humble, Lydia O'Berry, 59, and Cheryl Brooks, 64, both of Houston, and Anna Cowart, 50, of Missouri City. Early arrests included Dara Agudo, 40, and Victoria Martinez, 36, of Richmond, and Evelyn Shaw, of 52, of Houston. The indictment, returned October 5th, alleges the group defrauded Medicare and Medicaid of more than $110 million by billing for hospice services for patients who were not terminally ill. Authorities say Ogudo and Martinez managed United Palliative and Hospice Company, or UPHC, and misled patients and families. They reportedly paid kickbacks, bribed a doctor, and used straw owners to continue the scheme through new companies.
In a world filled with fleeting moments, there's beauty waiting to be captured. My name is Christian, and I specialize in immortalizing your most precious memories. From elegant weddings to vibrant events and timeless portraits, I'm here to make every moment unforgettable. Let me tell your story through the lens. Contact me today and let's create magic together.
Journey to self-discovery and mastery. Be bold, why not? Season 6 with MJ Concepcion every Monday 8 p.m. CST. Don't miss out.
Where every conversation is welcome at the table. This is Pink Table Talk with Dr. Carly D. Every Wednesday 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Rice, spice, and everything nice. Welcome to the Philippine food scene with Adobo Queen, Nancy Reyes Lumen of Commissary Kitchen. Every Thursday 8 p.m. CST and Friday 9 a.m. Philippine time.
Veterans and community members gathered in downtown Austin on November 11th for the 69th Annual Veterans Day Parade. The event was organized through the efforts of the City of Austin and the Military Veterans Empowerment Network. Participants marched from the Congress Avenue Bridge to the state capitol, featuring military units, veterans organizations, community groups, floats, and school bands. Spectators lined Congress Avenue to honor the service and sacrifices of veterans. City officials and military leaders joined the parade and later attended a ceremony at the state capitol recognizing all branches of the armed forces. Military vehicles and colored guards also moved along the route. Authorities implemented road closures and safety measures throughout the morning. Veterans expressed appreciation for the recognition, while organizers thanked volunteers and local businesses for supporting the event. Dallas County prosecutors have indicted Yordanis Cobus Martinez on a capital murder charge in the killing of Chandramuli Nagamalia at the Dallas area motel, authorities confirmed. Police were called to the motel after staff discovered Nagamalia deceased from a violent attack. Officers secured the location, gathered evidence, and interviewed witnesses as part of the investigation. Cobus Martinez was later taken into custody and now faces a capital murder charge in Dallas County Court. Officials have not disclosed a possible motive, and prosecutors are determining whether other charges may be warranted. The Dallas County District Attorney's Office is overseeing the case. Cobus Martinez is guaranteed legal representation and the chance to challenge the allegations through pre-trial proceedings and, if necessary, trial. Authorities have asked anyone with additional information to contact a designated tip line. Bexar County is expanding its constable staff to enforce Senate Bill 1333, a new Texas law aimed at speeding up the removal of squatters from properties, county officials said. The law gives property owners a quicker process for removing unauthorized occupants after filing a complaint. County leaders plan to hire more constable deputies to handle an anticipated rise in cases and strengthen enforcement. Officials noted an increase in squatting reports as a primary factor behind the staffing expansion. Previously, property owners often navigated lengthy legal procedures to address unauthorized occupancy. Senate Bill 1333 streamlines that process and grants constables greater authority to act once a case is filed. Bexar County is among several Texas communities reporting more cases of unauthorized occupancy. County leaders said the additional deputies will help ensure quicker responses to complaints and more efficient case handling under the updated legal framework. Senator John Fetterman was hospitalized Tuesday evening following a health incident at his home, his office confirmed. A spokesperson said Fetterman experienced a ventricular fibrillation flare-up, which left him lightheaded and led to a fall. Ventricular fibrillation is a serious heart rhythm disturbance that can cause cardiac arrest if untreated. Fetterman remained alert after the incident and received immediate medical attention. He is currently under observation at a nearby medical facility. Governor Josh Shapiro and fellow senators expressed concern and wished Fetterman a swift recovery. His office stated that his duties will continue without interruption, with staff managing day-to-day operations during his hospitalization. Officials have not provided additional details about his condition or the expected timeline for discharge.
Join us for a captivating new series where Lawin sits down with the trailblazers of the music and entertainment world. Discover the stories behind the faces and voices that shape our culture and community.
We will bring you exclusive interviews with industry legends and rising stars. Behind the scenes insights and get a peek into the creative processes and personal journeys. Artists and performers and their upcoming shows and events.
Stay tuned for more updates and sneak peeks. Follow us on social media and subscribe to our channel.
The U.S. government resumed operations late Wednesday after President Donald Trump signed a temporary funding bill that ended a 43-day shutdown, the longest in modern U.S. history. The shutdown began over disputes about funding for Trump's proposed border wall and resulted in the partial closure of several federal departments. About 800,000 federal employees were furloughed or worked without pay during the impasse. The short-term funding measure approved by the House and Senate keeps the government open until January 30th, 2026. Federal workers will return to their jobs with back pay, and public services, including national parks and affected agencies, are expected to reopen. During the shutdown, departments such as Homeland Security, Transportation, and Agriculture saw significant service disruptions. Airports reported longer lines tied to staffing shortages, while museums and parks remained closed. The temporary bill does not include the $5 billion in border wall funding sought by the president, leaving the core dispute unresolved. As the January 30 deadline approaches, lawmakers face renewed pressure to prevent another shutdown and maintain consistent government operations for workers and the public. Former lawmaker Elizalde Co or Zaldi Co admitted inserting roughly 100 billion pesos into the 2025 national budget, claiming that President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and former House Speaker Martin Romualdez ordered the move according to a public disclosure. Cole said the funds were allocated for undisclosed government projects as part of a broader administration initiative. He also alleged that Budget Secretary Amina Pantaman was involved and that communications with other officials coincided with the directive. The former lawmaker is facing separate allegations of receiving kickbacks from flood control projects. He maintained that he is being portrayed as a scapegoat in the government's anti-corruption campaign. Authorities have not confirmed or denied the involvement of Marcos and Romualdez, and the administration has not issued an official response. King Charles and Queen Camilla have expressed condolences to victims of recent typhoon and earthquake disasters in the Philippines, the UK Embassy announced Tuesday, November 11th. The royal statement conveyed sadness over the loss of lives and offered thoughts and prayers to those affected by the natural disasters that have struck the country in recent weeks. Authorities in the Philippines continue to assess damage and provide relief. Emergency services and humanitarian organizations, including the Philippine Red Cross, are assisting displaced residents. The government has also requested international support to strengthen ongoing relief efforts. The UK Embassy highlighted solidarity with affected communities, reflecting strong ties between the Philippines and the United Kingdom. Thousands of residents have been displaced, and infrastructure in several regions has sustained damage. 4 Filipino American women were recognized for their leadership, compassion, and community service at the 2025 Mrs. Philippines of North Texas Charity Gala, held at Hilton Richardson, Dallas on November 8th. Leading this year's honorees was Michelle Labro, crowned Mrs. Philippines North Texas 2025 to 2027. Labro was recognized for her role as chief lead fundraiser for the event, championing charitable causes and encouraging community involvement through the biennial initiative. Joining her were regional title holders Mrs. Luzon, Lizelle Masinag, Mrs. Visayas, Jasmine Hunt, and Mrs. Mindanao, Larry Williams. The 4 women embodied this year's theme, Together We Rise, Women of Charity Empowering Communities, highlighting their shared dedication to service and unity among Filipino communities in North Texas. The gala, organized by the Philippine Community Center Incorporated, or International, or PCCI International, under chairperson Ida Docena Madison and President Lorna Bacani Pineda, served as the group's primary fundraising event. Proceeds support scholarships, health assistance, and other philanthropic programs. Beyond celebrating beauty and grace, the event honored Filipino leadership and generosity, commending the honorees for achievements and commitment to uplifting communities through service. The Ilocano Club of Metro Houston, or ICMH, marked its 44th anniversary with a lively fundraiser gala benefiting the ICMH Scholarship Fund for seminarians. The event also featured the induction of new officers, with Avi Basa passing the presidency to incoming President Gina Oreta. Guests enjoyed musical performances, dancing, and the chance to reconnect with old friends while meeting new members. The celebration highlighted the club's ongoing commitment to community, culture, and education. Consul General Gunther Salis visited the 4th annual Lone Star Palenque at Levy Event Plaza on November 9th, officials confirmed. Organized by the Filipino American Community Endeavor, or PC, under President Mark Sampelo, the event is the largest Filipino market and cultural gathering in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Last year, the festival attracted over 10,000 visitors. This year's market, themed Bayanihan, the community spirit, featured more than 120 vendors, including Filipino-owned businesses and non-profit organizations. The festival highlights Filipino culture, cuisine, and entrepreneurship while fostering community engagement. Consul General Salas joined PASI members or board members and other Filipino community leaders for the formal opening, emphasizing the importance of unity and support for local Filipino enterprises.
Filing taxes, dealing with tax debt, or facing IRS actions is stressful, but you don't have to go it alone. Call 832-674-0829 or visit www.taxresolutionesq.com.
For divorce and family law in Texas, Liggett Dizon Law Firm PC will guide you every step of the way.
From initial consultation to detailed review of your case and strategic planning.
We'll sit with you during negotiations or mediations, and represent you in court.
Whether it is a family law, estate planning, or immigration, we will be there to guide through the final steps.
So, leave your legal matters behind you and embrace your future.
You can contact Liggett Dizon Law Firm PC at 346-5454-346 or visit dizonlawfirm.com.
Organizers of the Los Angeles 2028 Olympics have unveiled the full competition schedule, highlighting marquee events such as the women's 100 meters and the Super Saturday session. The detailed timetable, released earlier than in previous cycles, sets the opening ceremony for July 14th and the closing ceremony for July 30th. Los Angeles will host the Olympics and Paralympics for the third time, following previous games in 1932 and 1984. The 2028 Games are designed to showcase both sports and local culture, with competitions staged at iconic venues across the city. Organizers are emphasizing sustainability and innovation in planning, while aiming to welcome thousands of athletes and spectators from around the world. The 2028 Olympics promise to be a major international celebration of athletics, community, and culture, marking Los Angeles as a global hub for sports once again. Philippine Olympic champion Heidelin Diaz Naranjo will lead a 9-athlete weightlifting team at the Southeast Asian Games 2025 in Thailand next month, the Philippine Weightlifting Association confirmed. Diaz Naranjo, who earned the country's first Olympic gold in the 55-kilogram category at the Tokyo Games, will compete in the 58-kilogram division. The SEA Games, scheduled for December, will feature weightlifting events for men and women, with athletes from 11 Southeast Asian countries participating. Events are sanctioned by the International Weightlifting Federation. The team will travel to Thailand ahead of the Games to acclimate and finalize preparations. The Philippine Sports Commission has provided additional resources and training support for the athletes. Diaz Naranjo expressed excitement about leading the team, while coaches have focused on refining techniques to optimize performance. The SEA Games also offer an opportunity for athletes to gain international experience, evaluate their progress, and pursue qualification for future competitions. Universal Pictures is developing a musical film adaptation of Lewis Carroll's Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, with Sabrina Carpenter attached to star as Alice and serve as a producer. The project aims to offer a fresh interpretation of Carroll's classic tale, bringing the story to a modern audience through music and cinematic storytelling. Carpenter's involvement as both a lead actress and producer reflects her growing role in acting and film production. Universal Pictures has not yet announced a production schedule or release date. The studio says it intends to craft a distinct artistic vision for this adaptation, setting it apart from previous film versions of the beloved story. Actors Joshua Garcia and Ivana Alawi will headline Love is Never Gone, the first Filipino television series to be filmed in Morocco, the production team announced. Filming is set to begin soon, with Morocco chosen as the international backdrop while incorporating Filipino cultural elements into the storyline. The series will explore themes of love and cultural diversity, blending romance and drama for a broad audience. Garcia and Alawi expressed enthusiasm for the project, calling it an opportunity to bring Filipino television content to a global stage. The series is expected to air on a leading Filipino network following filming and post-production. The production team plans to reveal additional cast members and other details in the coming weeks. As we brace ourselves for the upcoming weather changes, let's dive into what you can expect day by day. Whether you're planning outdoor activities or just preparing for the week, we've got you covered with the most accurate forecast. Stay tuned with us as we take a closer look at the weather patterns that will impact our region. Remember, here at Lawin Weekly News, we bring you the clearest skies to the stormiest forecasts.
Here is your Lawin Weekly News weather forecast in Houston, Texas. On November 16th, Sunday, the high is around 75 degrees Fahrenheit with a low of about 57 degrees Fahrenheit. Expect mostly sunny and mild conditions. On November 17th, Monday, the temperature peaks near 76 degrees Fahrenheit and dips to 58 degrees Fahrenheit at night. Partly cloudy skies with a calm, pleasant feel. On November 18th, Tuesday, the high will be around 74 degrees Fahrenheit with a low near 56 degrees Fahrenheit, mostly clear and cool. On November 19th, Wednesday, the high is about 73 degrees Fahrenheit and the overnight low close to 55 degrees Fahrenheit. Sunny and slightly breezy. On November 20th, Thursday, the temperature reaches roughly 72 degrees Fahrenheit with a low of 54 degrees Fahrenheit. Expect partly sunny skies and crisp fall air. On November 21st, Friday, the high is near 74 degrees Fahrenheit and the low around 55 degrees Fahrenheit, mostly clear and calm. On November 22nd, Saturday, the high will be around 76 degrees Fahrenheit with a low of 57 degrees Fahrenheit. Sunny and mild, with comfortable fall weather.
So those were the latest stories in Texas this week. I am Nesca Santina from Lawin Media Network. Have a great day.
Lawin Weekly News.
Tune in live Sundays 8 a.m. Central Standard Time and Sundays 6 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Lawin Weekly News.